We got a bunch of dogs here today. My little Bichon mix is in the upper right cage. We have 2 Basset Hounds on the bottom. They are being boarded. But my 8 o'clock grooming dog is here, and his name is Caramello. Caramello bites. So I wrap a towel around him, over his head, before I pick him up. Then that way, if he wants to bite me, he will get the towel instead. So he's almost 16. He's been coming here every 3 months since he was probably about 5 years old for a complete shave down. Now, when I first started grooming him, this dog was vicious. I mean, he used to have to be sedated to be groomed. Like, you couldn't touch him. He was completely insane. But then again, his owners brought him in a crate, and he just didn't want to come out of the crate. That was a big part of the problem. But anyway, we are getting rid of his eye boogers while he's in the bathtub. Now this guy, if you know anything about dogs, he's almost 16, and that is very old. By the way, he's getting shampoo and conditioner. And a lot of dogs, after the age of about 12, they get arthritis, they go blind, they go deaf, they can't hold their poo-poo anymore. They'll poop in the tub, they'll poop on the table, they'll pee. They can get really hard to groom, and that has happened to Caramello. Now, he doesn't want his face touched. He doesn't want it blow dried. So I'm just going to let his face air dry. I'm going to put a little fan on him, and I'll finish drying him on the grooming table. But his hair is so thin, he might actually be almost dry before I get him back out. I have to clean up my mess in the tub. But I want him to be completely or almost dry before I start his haircut. Now, let me warn you, if you do not like dogs that don't like being groomed, to be groomed. That makes sense. He's blind and he's deaf, so he's getting a loop over his head and he's getting a loop next to his neck, just to keep him in the center of the table. So, I'm going to try to explain this. I might not make any sense, but if you're a groomer, you already know. His owners like him very short just because this dog... Oh yeah, he also pooped in the tub, but I cut the camera because I didn't think you would enjoy watching that. She already walked him before she came in. Okay. I feel like everybody knows this stuff, but I guess they don't. So I really don't know where to start. Okay, but they lose control of their bowels. Is that the proper way to say it? They poop everywhere. And he has been doing this for about a year. So right there is a sign that he's not doing so good health-wise. Now his hair is very thin, and when dogs get older, just like people, their skin gets thin. And this dog, let me tell you, it might look like it's easy, but I would never want a new groomer to groom this dog. Guaranteed they will slice the skin wide open. So when a dog has very thin skin, like an old dog, like Caramello, and you shave them down with a very short blade, you really can't scrape the skin, even though you have to get the hair off. This dog took twice as long as it should have, just because I had to be so careful not to cut his skin. I hope I'm making sense. In a little bit, I'll show you how thin his skin is. There's a part in this video where you can really see it. But he pulls away the whole time, and if he had his way, he'd be spinning in circles, but he can't. Like I said, when he first started coming here, he used to bite. Like this dog, you couldn't touch him, and he always had to be sedated. But then I found out the part that he doesn't like is he doesn't like cages. And the weirdest thing, they would bring him in a crate. Which made no sense. And he didn't like me to pick him up, like to take him out of a cage, to pick him up, just weird things like that. But for most of the grooming, he's fine. Every once in a while, he'll get nippy about his feet being touched, but now that he's older, he's really calmed down. He's just, he's fragile, and it's very stressful for me. I don't know if it's just me, or it would be stressful for all groomers, but very stressful. Because I know how easy the skin can tear. I've been doing this 32 years, so trust me. I learned the hard way. I think that's why a lot of groomers, they have like an age limit. Because you can pretty much assume that maybe, I mean, not all dogs, but a lot of dogs are starting to get senile over 15. A lot of them are blind, a lot of them are deaf. They're confused, they have bad teeth, they won't let you touch their face, they bite when they would never bite before. It's just hard. It's hard on the dog, it's hard on us, it's hard. So like I was saying, I have to shave his skin, but I have to scrape the skin without scraping the skin. It's really hard. Okay, he's got a couple little tangles in his tail, but I'm going to take it short anyway. He doesn't need all this hair, especially since he's pooping all over himself. He doesn't need all this hair on his tail. His owner says she bought him socks, so when he poops all over himself, his feet will stay clean. Y'all, I'm just saying, she really said that. When you think you've heard it all, there's always better things to hear. I'm shaving out the pads of his feet, which he's not a fan for. I don't know if you can tell, but he's really trying to pull away. And really all you can do is just hold on tight. Stay calm, try to stay calm, and keep going. If you enjoy watching dog grooming videos, consider giving this video a thumbs up, subscribing to the channel, and leaving a nice comment and sharing this video with a friend who loves to watch Shih Tzus being groomed. All the bandanas that I make for the dogs are obviously handmade. And if you want to make your dog as cute as possible, check out my handmade dog bandanas on Etsy. Hot Dogs Handmade CO. I have tie-on, slip over the collars. There's so many cute designs. And also pillows, dog-themed pillows, which I am working on, making more and getting more on there as time goes by. I feel like when people watch dog grooming videos, they think that the groomer should have nerves of steel and never get bothered, and that we never worry about getting bit, and that we always are confident and we think our dogs look good. Y'all, we're real people, and this is really stressful. Any minute this dog could bite me and end my job, because one thing, I don't have insurance, but if I get bit, I'm in big trouble. But I mean, we don't want to cut the dogs either. We don't want to mess up their hair. I mean, it's stressful. And the dogs can't talk. You can't say, oh, wait a minute, we only have 20 minutes left. Like, there's nothing you can do. They don't understand what you're doing. Anyway, he's getting his nails cut. This right here is a very dangerous part under the arms. I think most groomers, if you're going to cut a dog, there's a couple places that are dangerous. Right here, where I'm shaving, right on the inside of the back legs, the underarms, and those folds inside the ears, they're very easy to cut. Oh yeah, the neck. A lot of old dogs, their skin is so thin when you run those clippers down that throat. Very easy to cut. Trust me, it's very easy. And these are things you can't really learn in grooming school. I mean, they can tell you how, like, hairstyle. I went to grooming school, but they can tell you hairstyles. But until you start grooming on your own, these are just things you got to learn by yourself. I mean, things nobody can teach you. I mean, easy things like how to hold the clipper. I mean, you know, the angle, you gotta learn it on your own. the angle to cut the nails, because if you cut them one direction, it might split the nail, but if you do it another direction, it cuts cleanly. Shaving the face, I mean, you're not going to get a lot of this hair off unless you pull the skin really tight. I mean, all these things you actually learn by screwing up. I mean, there's all kinds of things to learn, like when your scissors are dull, like you got to find places that sharpen scissors and your blades. Your blades will break, like the blade drive inside. There's parts you got to get replaced. There's a lot to learn. Actually, his eyes are in pretty good shape today. Normally, oh, they're so matted, and his face too, and it's really hard to get it off, but it wasn't too bad today. But here's what I wanted to show you. See his skin, how thin it is? You can cut this like butter. I mean, this skin is no joke. This is hard, and to use a 10 blade, very short, he really has no protection against the blade. You know what I mean? Like a little layer of hair. You're literally scraping the skin. So dangerous. Yeah, and this was the hard part too, shaving his face. A lot of these dogs, they have bad teeth, and their face hurts. They do not want you touching their face, but you have to. I mean, it's not like you're gonna shave his face without touching his face, right? I mean, what are you gonna do? You see that yawn he's doing? That's fake. It's a fake yawn. He's getting ready to snap at me. Before I shave the corners of his eyes out, I'm pulling all that hair away from his skin so I don't have to scrape the skin when I come in. This is a very short blade I'm using, because this one side is all matted. And then he tries to bite me. So after my heart stopped beating out of my chest, I took a little break and continued shaving his mouth, and then he was fine. I don't know, his mouth probably hurts. There's a way that I'm holding him. You probably can't tell. It looks like I'm squeezing his neck, but actually my fingers are under his jawbone. You see that? It's sitting under his jawbone. It's not squeezing his neck, don't worry. And it is a really good way to hold them. Since I couldn't get in there really good with the clippers, I'm just coming back underneath and scissoring off what I can underneath his eye, and he's just not going to be perfect, but he's close enough. I mean, really, I don't think many groomers would groom him at this point. I don't think a lot of groomers are skilled enough. Not that I'm wonderful, but I'm just saying, you know what I mean? It takes a lot of practice. Alright, we are almost done with his haircut, and also in case you don't know, Shih Tzus grow hair inside their ears and that needs to be pulled out, and that is what I'm doing right now with ear powder. There you go. And I wiped his ears out with a little bit of ear cleaner, and this was the part I couldn't get under here because it's all matted where he pees on himself. This was a challenge. I was like afraid to pull his legs out too far. I mean, I don't know, he's probably got arthritis and who knows what he's got. You know, health problems, and I just didn't want to pull on his legs that hard. But I couldn't get under here because it was all matted and stuck to his skin. We're about done here. I'm going over him one more time just to try to get any hairs that I missed, because I know he's probably going to have some scraggly hairs that pop out later. You only can do what you can do, and luckily I got him done without cutting his skin. Now, I don't think he's going to be back. I mean, she made another appointment for 3 months, but the way his legs are giving out, I mean, who knows? I don't think he'll be back, but he might. I'm spraying him down with a little bit of conditioner so he's nice and soft, just to knock off all those loose hairs. And I'm wiping out the corners of his eyes to make sure they're nice and clean. Trying to be careful not to get bit, because he doesn't like this. That's good enough. I'm not pushing my luck. We're done. And the big moment he's been waiting for, he is getting his handmade dog bandana that I made just for him that says Hot Dogs, his favorite groomer in the world.
Wave to everybody. Bye bye.